Alright guys, MarkBoy316 here with another video, and today, the sad news of Hulk Hogan. There he is, the poster. Even got a little Hulkamania glass here of Hulk Hogan. Just some stuff. I also have his book right here. Pretty cool. And some of his stuff that I have. Obviously, No Holds Barred. What a great movie. And yeah, good stuff from Hogan. Then I've got Hulk Hogan in Japan, Ichiban 3 this set. So you see here on the back, Hogan versus Backlund, Hogan and Paul Orndorff against Inoki and Ricky Choshu. You've got Hogan and Stan Hansen versus Inoki and Dusty Rhodes. Even got a match with Hogan and Muta on here. So that's pretty freaking cool. But there's a rare Hulk Hogan DVD. Next we have, of course, who can forget, good old Mr. Nanny. What a movie that was, my god. And Suburban Commando, which also featured The Undertaker in here. So there we go. And then, of course, Hogan Knows Best. Right there with his wife Linda, his daughter Brooke, son Nick. That's pretty cool. Then you have his TNA DVD. What some pretty cool stuff right there. You see Hogan, Sting, and James Storm versus Kurt Angle. And who else is on there? Kurt Angle, Bobby Roode, and Bully Ray in the 6-man tag. That's when they were in the tour from England, untelevised match. So pretty cool to have that one. Of course, here we go with the unreleased set. Great stuff here. And some great freaking matches on here. It is a great set. As you see, you got some cool stuff, some unreleased stuff from the Maple Leaf Gardens. You got Hogan and Junkyard Dog and Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy, Hogan versus Kamala, Hogan versus Killer Khan, you got Hogan One Man Gang, Hogan ravishing Rick Rude, Hogan and Bam Bam against DiBiase and Virgil, Hogan and Haku. Just some great unreleased stuff. Hogan with some promos, Hogan and Big Boss Man, like Hogan and Mr. T at the grocery store, like the segments he had with Mr. T heading into WrestleMania 1. Like, some great stuff. Like, Andre versus Hogan from Madison Square Garden in 1980. Hogan versus Buckwinkel and Bobby Heenan from the AWA. Like, so much classic stuff on here. Just some cool stuff. One of his great sets he had. Then they also had a Legends collection where they profiled him and Backlund, and had some matches on here with Hogan and the High Flyers, which was Greg Gagne and was it B. Brian Blair? I don't think it was Blair, it was the other one. But yeah, Greg Gagne and Jim Brunzell, I do believe. And they fought Bobby Heenan, Jesse Ventura, and Patera. Hogan and Andre against Bobby Duncan, Bobby Heenan, Nick Bockwinkel, and Ken Patera. You got Hogan versus Carly Race from Saturday Night's Main Event. Some good stuff. Again, there it is, Hulk Hogan. Then we have a company that only lasted a year. It was basically started by Jimmy Hart and Brian Knobbs of the Nasty Boys, the XWF, with Hogan here on the cover. As you see there, Nasty Boys right there. But yeah, there's him and Kurt Hennig on here. Hogan versus Kurt. Horace Hogan, Hogan's nephew on here too. And just some cool stuff. well, yeah, XWF with Hogan. And then we got the big Hogan anthology. This is the one with the bonus disc where you got him and Tito in the handicap match in the AWA. Him and Terry Funk started on main event. Him and Harley Race. The 1990 Royal Rumble, which Hogan is a two-time Royal Rumble winner. Hogan and Earthquake from 1990, and then Homecoming 2005. Interview with me and Gene Okerlund. That's the 4-disc set, about 10.5 hours runtime with the bonus disc. Then you have the other Hogan anthology with 3 episodes of Hogan Knows Best, which obviously I have it there, but cool to have this rare one. And finally, Hulk Steel Rules, right there. And yes, I did have the one with, obviously, the insert right there. You see the red and yellow disc. And yeah, here we go. That was my basically Hogan collection. I also have every single Coliseum video from Hulkamania to Hulkamania 6, the best of Hulk Hogan, the best of Hulkamania, all his Coliseum videos. And yeah, the Hulkster, was he a nice person? No, he said some stuff he probably shouldn't have. But as a wrestling fan, I was 9 years old when he beat the Sheik in January of '84. And he's the one that, flicking through my channels on TV, I saw who is this big, muscled guy beating up this foreign guy. And he's the one that got me hooked into wrestling. Was I a big Hogan Hulkamania fan? Well, from all the stuff I have, I guess you could say that. But I liked Randy Savage and Warrior and all them, and Jake Roberts and more than I did Hogan. But if it wasn't for Hogan, I never would have seen all the other guys. So the impact he left in wrestling was great. Like him and Vince together, I don't think they could have been a WWF without Hogan or Vince. They couldn't have been a WrestleMania without him or Vince. So, speaking of some of my favorite matches, him and Vince from 19 in a street fight, great match. Him and Rock from WrestleMania 18, where they both basically flipped. They were booing The Rock and cheering Hogan, and it was supposed to be the opposite. But that was a good match. He beat Triple H Backlash 02 for the title. Him and the Warrior from WrestleMania 6, still great match. Him and Savage, almost a 2-year plus storyline with him and Randy Savage with the Mega Powers Explode. Just some great stuff. And yeah, Hogan had some great. Him and Andre from 3. Him and Andre from the main event. 33 million people watched it on NBC. That is insane. Like, holy crap. And it was Hogan and Andre that drew that number on TV. That's ridiculous. But wow. And again, some of his WCW stuff, him and Flair from Bash at the Beach 94. First match in WCW, beats Flair for the title. Just great stuff. And then, of course, he would form the NWO with Hall and Nash and WCW, and the rest is history. He was a good heel, and he was a good babyface. And was it the first 9 WrestleManias? And the people said he couldn't wrestle. I disagree. I think Hogan could wrestle. Take a look at some of his stuff in Japan, like on the DVD I showed you, him and Muda. He could do drop toe holds, go behinds, drop downs, and he used the axe bomber in Japan, like the clothesline instead of leg drop as a finisher. And he could do a lot more than you saw on WWF TV. Just he didn't have to. He had the charisma, the look. Say your prayers, take your vitamins. I bet he was on. I bet he was taking some stuff too, but that's beside the point. But yeah, the Hulkster today passed away at 71, and to let that sink in, 71, and you still have Jake Roberts with all the stuff he's done. Ric Flair still around, and Hogan goes before them. Like, wow. But yeah, the last couple of days has been wow. Theo from the Cosby Show, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and Ozzy Osbourne, and now Hulk Hogan. Like holy crap! But yeah, he wrestled like I said for AWA, WWF, TNA, wrestled all over the world, and to anybody who's anybody, even if you haven't watched wrestling a day in your life, you go to somebody and you say, name a wrestler. Chances are Hulk Hogan. That's how popular he was, and there was cartoons of him, obviously, and like so much uh, entertainment that he's brought over the years to a lot of people. And yes, his matches were a lot similar. He'd get beat up for 3/4 of the match, then he'd hulk up, he'd do the punches, he'd do the big boot, the leg drop, win the match. If you worked with Hogan, you made a lot of money back then, and a lot of people got a chance to work with him and made a lot of money working with Hogan. So, uh, kind of shocking news to hear. I wasn't the biggest Hulkamania fan, like I said, but you can't deny what he did for the wrestling business. Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. And there we go. Thank you for joining me. Catch you guys in the next one, and let me know your comments on Hulk Hogan.